Hello, how are you? I'm Julia, and for this video, I'm going to be talking about the Love Game series, the first three by Elizabeth Hayley. I read these back in April because I suck, and I don't update this as well as I should. I don't know why, it just takes me forever to review books on here. I do them immediately on my Goodreads. Excuse me while I die. But yeah, so I read these in April, and I read the fourth one as well, but that follows another couple, so I'm going to review those separately because there's three of them. I read the fourth one, I need to read the fifth and the sixth. So this book, all three of them, follow Drew and Sophia, and Sophia's in a sorority, and one night she invites her lab partner over or something to study, and they both fall asleep and they wake up in the morning and he leaves and she gets caught because there are no boys allowed to stay the night in the sorority, and her sorority president, Amy, just doesn't like her. I can't remember why, but she just doesn't like her. So she kicks her out of the sorority. The house. She can't kick her out of the sorority. So she goes to her brother's apartment, and she knocks on the door, and Drew answers the door. And she's like, "Hey, I'm looking for Brody." And he's like, "I am Brody." And she's like, "No, you're not." And he's like, "Yes, I am." And she's like, "I'm his sister. You're not Brody." And he's like, "Oh." So she goes in and she calls Brody and she's like, "Dude, what the heck?" And he's like, "Hey, I don't want to go to school anymore. So, Drew's gonna do it for me." So she's like, "I need a place to live." So she moves in with Drew, acting as Brody. And, that's when their little thing starts, their relationship. I didn't hate this. I gave it 3.5 stars. I gave it 3 on Goodreads, though, because it was, I don't want to say it was slow burn, because I don't think it was slow burn. I think there's a difference between slow burn and just taking forever to get somewhere, and then, bam, it happens. When there was, little to no chemistry before whatever it was that happens to get that there, to the relationship. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. And that's kind of what happened with this, is, there was little to no chemistry, and then it was oh, here they are kissing. Okay, makes sense, because it is a romance. So you're, expecting it, but it wasn't really written well, I don't think. I liked Sophia's storyline with the sorority. I thought that was really interesting, because I think it's this book where she's like, "I'm gonna try to vote Amy out of being president. I'm gonna be president." She ends up backing out of it, but I thought it was an interesting storyline for her and how, sorority life works. I don't even know if that's how sorority life works, but it was interesting to read. So, Drew, he's this is dual point of view, which I loved. Drew not only is being paid to go, he's not actually not being paid, he's going to school for Brody so that he can learn business, so that he can own his own bar one day. And, as he's doing this, he's living rent-free in his apartment and stuff, but he works at a bar. And that's his storyline, is, he works at a bar, he's trying to, I think it starts in this one as well. He's, putting together, an outside spot, or, the idea is brought up in this, I don't know. So I wanted to explain that a little bit better. Basically, Drew has worked at this bar for a couple of years now, and he's pretty close with the owner. And one day he brings it up to him, "Hey, I think it would be a good idea to have an outside spot for the summer." And the owner's like, "Yeah, but it's your responsibility." So he is basically, while he's trying to learn, like, the ropes of, like, business at school, he's also learning at the bar. So the owner's like, you have to find, like, someone to build the porch, or, like, the, I don't know what it would be called, like, the outside, to have, like, a, what is that called, a porch, like, I don't know, but how to build it, like, find someone to build it, how much would be, how much everything would be. He's basically, like, learning the ropes as he goes, and that's basically the gist of it. There were a couple of issues I had, but I think the biggest one was the fact that no one really questions Drew about being Brody. He's obviously not a freshman, but, like, it's never really brought up, like, is this his first year? Like, because wouldn't you know what Brody looked like? You know what I mean? So, I just think a lot of things didn't make sense. Like, someone would catch that, and I think someone does, and he has to, like, be like, oh, no. Also, when their relationship starts, just gave me full-on anxiety, because every decision that they make after they start seeing each other is dumb, to be completely honest. Like, they go to a sorority party. He is her brother. Like, not really, but, like, it's coming off as, like, oh, this is Brody, my brother. And they go outside and start making out at the side of the house, and someone looks out the window, is like, records it, and is like, oh my god, she's making out with her brother. And it turns into this huge thing, and Amy makes it a big deal, and they talk themselves out of it, but it just gave me a lot of anxiety. They do it multiple times, and it freaked me out, and I didn't like it. Yeah, that's basically it. Also, this author is really good at cliffhangers. She does it in every book. Some of them are dumb, some of them are, like, really dramatic. But at the end of this one, spoiler alert, because we're going to go into the other two, but Drew gets into a car accident after they break up. I can't remember why they broke up, but he drives a motorcycle, and he gets hit by a car. So he's, like, really injured. And that brings us into Truth or Dare You. So Truth or Dare You starts off basically with Drew very hurt and needing Sophia's help, kind of doing everything because he can't really walk or use his arms. I think I like this one a lot better than the first one. I gave it 4 stars. I think their relationship matured quite a bit, and I think that was because they kind of broke up and had to realize things. I don't know. I did like that the drama in this was very much like everyday life stuff, and it wasn't stupid dramatic stuff that could never happen to someone, or it's like 1 in a million chance. Like, you know, Brody comes back in the last one, and he's a pretty big character in this, and I liked him. I thought he was funny. Is he completely irresponsible? Yes, but I thought he was good. Also, the side characters in this one, I think they're in the first one too. I can't remember when characters are brought in or not, but Drew as Brody is going to these classes, and he's in a study group, and they all come over to the house, to the apartment, and I think Sophia's moved back into the sorority house, so it's Brody and Drew living together now, and Brody has to, like, play it off like he's not Brody and Drew is Brody, so that was pretty funny. But I really enjoyed the side characters in this. I think side characters can really make or break a book, and I think she wrote them really well, and, like, I really liked it. She also, like, subtly does time jumps in this, as well as the other two, but she'll, like, do, like, jump a week or a month, and, like, something will be done, or something will be happening, and I thought that was really, really well written, because sometimes authors feel like they think that you want to read all the stuff that happens in between, and sometimes that's okay, but sometimes it's like, I don't need to read all of this. It's a little too descriptive and it's too much and I don't care. Get me to this point so that things can start happening. And I like that she did that. I thought that was good. I also think she writes all of her characters in a very relatable college way. Like, they weren't annoying or, like, overly annoying, because I think Amy's really annoying. She, like, kind of grew on me in this one because her and Drew start dating, but, I didn't like that. I still don't. I never became really a fan of her. Their relationship between Sophia and Amy does kind of grow slightly, but I don't know. I thought Amy was just mean to be mean. I can't remember why she was angry with Sophia, but I don't know, maybe I'm just someone who doesn't really forgive easily, so I wouldn't want to do that. This ends. The cliffhanger for this one is, while Brody was in Europe, which is where he went to not go to school, his wife comes back, and Amy is there, and she freaks out. It was a really great cliffhanger. I thought it was so funny, because I was so excited that he did something to piss Amy off, which sounds mean, but I didn't like Amy, so I don't know. This is also a spoiler, but I do want to add that her cliffhanger for the second book, when you start the third, you find out, like, immediately that it's a joke, that this woman comes and she's like, I'm married to Brody, and Amy freaks out, and the woman is like, oh my god, just kidding. But, like, I would have loved to have read about that drama, and we didn't get it, and I thought it was a little disappointing. So the last one is Two Truths and a Lime, and this one follows Drew and Sophia again, and I can't remember if this is a time jump or not, but Sophia's finishing up her degree, and Drew I believe he's manager at this bar, and the owner is like, I'm giving you the responsibility of putting all of this together. And that's what I was talking about in the first one. I think it's finally, like, being finished in this book, and they're trying to think of a name. That's what it is. I think they call it The Yard. And so Sophia gets this job at a marketing company. Her coworker / intern person that she works with is a straight up dick. Like, he's awful. And yeah, that's basically what this one is about, is them, like, she's working at this job and he's putting together the outside part of this bar, and they've also moved in together into, like, a really nice apartment, or she moves in. I can't remember. She moves in with her friend. That's what it is. So, and he's still living with Brody, I think. I can't remember, but she's living in this really nice apartment with a pool, and everyone comes over and, like, hangs out, and I can't remember if it's ever come out that, like, Brody is Brody and Drew is not. Drew is Drew. Yeah, I just really loved these characters. I thought this one was good. I gave it 3 stars, but, like, again, nothing super extravagant happens in these books. They're kind of just fun reads. And if you're looking for something, like, over the top and dramatic, like, this isn't it. But I liked this. It was cute. The author has a really good way of writing her characters and stuff, and making you kind of fall in love with them in a good way. I like the friendships. I like Sophia and Drew. I like Sophia and she has a good friend come in this book. I can't remember her name, but she is the main girl in the next 3 books. And, what is it? Is his name Rumor? I can't remember his name. I think it's Rumor. But I liked these. I thought they were fun. I can't really say much about this. I think this one, it probably wasn't my favorite, because I gave it 3 stars, and I gave the second one 4. But this is my lowest ranked. I don't know. I just think this one was nice, because their relationship is pretty solidified, and there's no, like, breaking up or getting back together type of thing, which I absolutely hate. So I did really enjoy this one. This was shit. I don't really know what else to say about these books. I think they're good. I think they're, like, depending on who you are, I think they're worth the read. But yeah, I was a little disappointed, though, going into the next 3 books, because the ending of this one is them getting engaged, and I thought that the next, like, book would have been, like, them planning the wedding, and, like, I love, personally, domestic shit. Like, I love people planning weddings and, like, buying houses and, like, decorating them and, like, being, like, in a relationship, like a healthy, happy relationship. I love that stuff. So I was a little disappointed, but I thought these were good and worth it. Very little worth it, but worth it. Yeah, that's it. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe and all that jazz. Also, please follow all of my social medias down below. I would greatly appreciate it. And that's all. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're all continuing to stay safe. And yeah, bye.